we are going to find out the true costs of Sabrina Carpenter's beauty routine. It's absolutely insane how much it costs to look that good. You should not justify it, and you should not buy it just because Sabrina is wearing it. They are not expected to review beauty products for us. We blindly want to buy things because celebrities own it, have it, and you just want to feel and look the same. Like, I thought it was pretty underwhelming in comparison to so many other looks.
And those are all my favorites.
All right, drum roll please. The cost of Sabrina Carpenter's Met Gala makeup look is... Hi gorgeous, welcome back to the beauty room. My name is El if you're new. And on this channel, we talk about makeup, money, and self-confidence. I think I might add that to my intro. I don't know yet. I haven't committed, but that is what we talk about here on this channel. This is going to be the very first episode of a potential new series. I don't know, I'm gonna test the waters a bit, and I think I'm going to name it The True Cost of Beauty. We'll see what the title actually becomes, but something along the lines of the true cost of beauty. The idea and concept of this video is to react to celebrity and influencer beauty routines and find out how much their actual beauty routine costs. Now, before I get into this video, I do need to put a disclaimer because I know that videos like this have the potential of bringing hate. My intentions for these videos are not to judge and hate on people for how they spend their money. With that being said, we do embrace different opinions on this channel. So as long as your comments are kind and constructive and thoughtful, then of course you're entitled to your own opinion, and I totally respect that. Really, the main point of these videos is to share the realities of the cost of beauty, makeup, and skincare, and help us gain a little bit more financial perspective on how much it actually costs to be beautiful, and also help us be a little bit more critical about some of the products we buy before blindly making the purchase because a celebrity or influencer put it on their face. I think the reason why a lot of us tend to blindly buy beauty products because a celebrity wore it or an influencer recommended it is because we look up to their beauty standards, and a lot of us want to mimic their routine, thinking that if we buy that same lipstick, if we buy that same blush, if we buy that same mascara or hair product or nails or whatever, we will look and be and embody the celebrity or influencer. But in the state of the world right now, that is probably not realistic for the most of us. And you don't need me to tell you this, but at the end of the day, we all have our own unique beauty features. And even if we try to buy the same product, we will not look like the person we are aspiring to be. What's so bizarre to me, specifically for celebrities versus influencers, at least when it comes to beauty influencers or content creators, I personally prefer the phrase content creator, but I know when it comes to media, everyone loves to use the word influencer, so that's what I'm using. When it comes to beauty influencers, we are expected to review and talk about products and try to share our most honest experiences, but when it's comes to celebrities, they are not expected to review beauty products for us. They are not experts. They probably don't even try as many products as a beauty reviewer. If anything, these celebrities simply just live their life. They get recommendations from makeup artists. They try new things, likely from their makeup artist. I'm sure they're like an average person and they get their recommendations from other influencers, and then they put it on their face, and every once in a while they'll have like an interview and they'll share what's in their bag or what their favorite products are, and we all will go crazy for it. And an example of this is with Kylie Jenner. It was rumored way back, I don't know, maybe around 2020, I cannot remember, that Kylie Jenner's makeup artist, which I think was Ariel at the time, had used the Dior like rosy pink blush on her, and because of that rumor, that product went viral, and now few years later, everyone is hating on the Rosy Glow blushes, which I totally get. They're not that pigmented. I have my own opinions on the product, but it's funny now to think of this rumor because apparently it came out that they never actually used the Dior blush on her. So we somehow made this product go viral because we thought this was the blush that Kylie Jenner was using. And Kylie Jenner never even said that that's what she was using and that's what she recommended. And and she never even reviewed the product. So I feel like there's some interesting psychology into why we tend to worship and blindly follow celebrities. I'm not gonna get into that today. Personally, for me, I try not to look up to them, especially as I've grown older. I've stopped following celebrities, I've stopped engaging. If anything, I really keep my eye out for influencers because that's the industry I'm in. But if I look at my Instagram followers or like who I follow, I think the only celebrity I really follow and tend to like engage with when it comes to liking photos is Sabrina Carpenter. And that is the exact reason why I decided to choose Sabrina Carpenter for today's video, because she is the one celebrity that I'm actually just kind of like, I have a girl crush on. Like, I went to one of her concerts last year. I was just so intrigued by her charisma on stage. She really is like, besides being shorter than I expected her to be, I can see why so many people admire her. And that's always so shocking to me when I see a celebrity in person, because sometimes in your head you're like, oh, they can't be as good as you see online, and then sometimes they are. And Sabrina Carpenter is one of those people. And I know for a fact that the total of my makeup routine is probably as expensive as Sabrina Carpenter's makeup routine, so I'm not trying to sit here on my high horse trying to say that I am better than her in any single way. If anything, there's a chance that my makeup routine and beauty routine is a little bit more expensive because, again, like, I create content, I try a lot of products, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So if you want me to total up how much my beauty routine costs, let me know in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up so I know that this video is worth filming. I will be happy to expose myself for the sake of your entertainment. Okay, I've said enough already. Let's go ahead and get into what's in Sabrina Carpenter's makeup bag. This video is, I believe, from Who Would Wear, and she shares just some of her favorite products that she keeps in her bag. I didn't want to do any of her Vogue videos that actually show her beauty routine because it's from like 30 years ago, and I feel like that's kind of old. I'm sure her beauty routine has changed since then. I'll also go into details of her Met Gala look because I feel like that's where a lot of people also tend to get recommendations on what celebrities are wearing.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Carpenter. Here is what's in my everyday makeup bag. These are like my essentials if I'm going out and need all the things that I will use every time I'm out. This is something that I actually recently started using. It's the Hourglass lip gloss. But it's just like such a beautiful, sheer, glossy finish, and it doesn't look too heavy or matte. It's like, almost looks like you just bit your lips and that's their natural flush color.
Okay, so the first product that she talks about is the Hourglass Phantom Gloss in the shade Desire, and this costs $36, which is kind of pricey for a lip product. I actually own one of these Hourglass Phantom glosses. I know that she's on TikTok, so I'm sure she might have gotten the recommendation on TikTok because this has gone viral. The color that I have is in the shade Trace, which is like a warm tone nudie brown color, and I have to say this is a product that I do recommend. When I first saw this video, I honestly considered buying the shade Desire because Sabrina Carpenter was raving over it, and it just shows that sometimes we blindly want to buy things because celebrities own it, have it, and you just want to feel and look the same. And I even added this to my cart, added it to my wish list. I still think it's technically in my wish list. I've never swatched it in store, so I don't know if it's the right color for me. And that's another thing to really consider when you are, you know, looking at these products that celebrities use. It's like, will that actually fit you though? Like, will that match with your skin tone? Sabrina Carpenter definitely is not the same skin tone as me. Let me actually look up the color to see how it's described online because I do not remember. Not me typing Sabrina Carpenter and Sephora app. Okay, this is described as a cool pink. Yeah, anything with the phrase cool usually doesn't align with my lip color because my lip color is kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a bruised lip color, but it's like very purpley. And so if I add anything cool on my lips, it ends up just making me look washed out, and it's not very flattering on my skin tone. So the shade Trace is what works best for me. And that is just a reminder for you, like, if you already have this, you don't need the same exact color as Sabrina Carpenter. I think it would be different if maybe you have the same skin tone and you want to take her recommendation for that reason. But at the end of the day, that shade will probably not work for me, and that would be a complete pass on my end. And again, it's $36.
This is also the lip liner that I really love. This is Wherever Walnut Makeup Forever lip liner. For those who know, and I'm a lip liner girl till the day I die. I will always pretty much have my lips lined.
I'm with Sabrina on that one. I love a good freaking lip liner. I don't know how I went majority of my life without lining my lips. Like, it has changed the game for my makeup, and it makes your makeup go from like drab to fab in seconds. So I also love a good lip liner, and this shade is another viral lip liner shade that I've seen everywhere. It's the Makeup Forever lip liner in the shade Wherever Walnut. The full size is $24, and I have it here. Ooh, I dropped it. I actually ended up getting the holiday set, and y'all, again, another reminder that what works, like specifically shade, what works for some people might not work for you, especially if you're like my skin color a lot of the times. This shade, yes, I think it works on me, but it's not my favorite. Like, it's not as deep as I want it to be. It's just okay, and I don't reach for this often. Not only that, I think the formula of the Makeup Forever Artist Pencils are okay. Like, I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat over this because I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat is a lot longer lasting, and yes, it's still expensive. The lip cheat is like $29. This is $24 for a full size. So as I said for the previous product, unless you are the same skin tone as Sabrina Carpenter, I don't think this is something you need to be influenced to buy, especially if she's pairing it with the Hourglass, what's the shade? Desire Phantom Gloss. It's because they pair well together, and if I were to wear this alone, it has more of that like cool tone, nudie pink vibe, and that's probably why I don't reach for as much.
This is my like obsession right now. This is the Makeup by Mario blush in Rose Crush. I also stand by the fact that the blush brush for this blush, that's something I'm gonna say a lot, 5 times fast, is part of what makes it apply so beautifully and so nicely.
The next product she uses is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Blush in the shade Rose Crush. This retails for $30, and I've never tried this product before. I've heard amazing things about it. Again, I feel like this was another TikTok viral product that a lot of people have spoken about, have raved about, obsessed with. And when this first released, I decided not to buy it because it's a cream blush that's glowy. And you know, if you watch my channel, that I don't really have that preference. Like, I don't love glowy cream blushes. I don't think that they really do anything for my skin. They tend to fade quickly on the skin, even though they leave a beautiful glow. I also prefer more like satin matte blushes, liquid blushes, powder blushes, and when it comes to cream blush, it's not my fave. With that being said, the first time I watched this video, I wanted it. I wanted it, y'all. I almost bought the damn thing. I almost didn't take my own advice and tried to look past my preferences and buy this product just because Sabrina Carpenter was wearing it, and I had to really ground myself. I remember adding it to my cart, going back and forth, and honestly spending a long time trying to make this decision, and I had to literally put my phone down and sleep on it and realize I was not gonna buy it. It was not for me. Another thing, again, it's a shade preference thing. It's not only because of formula, but it's also a shade preference thing. Rose Crush, again, looks like that kind of like flushy, cool tone, purpley, rosy pink color that I just don't reach for. Like, I reach for corals, warm tones, browns, nude, like brownie nudes, brownie pinks, and this was not the vibe for me. But everything in me tried to justify it, and I had to remind myself that you should not justify it, and you should not buy it just because Sabrina is wearing it. I have a feeling that would have been a $30 waste of money if I decided to buy it.
This is like, I can't believe I'm telling anyone about this right now. I'm really scared to, but I'm gonna do it for the betterment of mankind, and it's like my favorite thing in the world. It's this Blot and Blur matte stick by Nude Sticks, basically replacing powder when I'm out or if my friends are out and they're like, oh my god, I'm so shiny, I don't have powder. Like this, it's just like this little balmy stick, and you just kind of put it wherever you're oily, and it doesn't look powdery or cakey, it just looks like oil's gone. So it's pretty magical.
I have oily skin. I know exactly what she's talking about. I always have to blot my face throughout the day. Even right now, I'm like, I'm a little bit oily. I could just use a little bit of powder right now. Every time I'm filming, like, my oils always seep through, and it's the most annoying thing. I wish I could go without blotting my face, but I felt like this was actually made for me, like the Nude Sticks Blot and Blur. I was like, ooh, I want that. That's something that I feel like I would be really happy with using. I could probably have justified this purchase, but it was $34. $34, yes. And I started to think about it. Also, I think there were some bad reviews on Sephora that made me second guess myself and question if this was really worth $34 because Sabrina talked about it. And then I came down to my senses, just like the Rose Crush blush from Makeup by Mario, that I should not be paying $34 for something to blot my face throughout the day. Literally, blotting paper does the same exact thing. If you don't want to use like a mattifying powder because it makes you look cakey, like Sabrina was mentioning, you can use blotting paper and it's so much cheaper. Granted, technically it's not environmentally friendly, so I totally understand. You have to weigh out the pros and cons on that for yourself. But in terms of what I actually use and what's actually good for my budget, it's blotting paper. Like, I got a pack of blotting paper from Muji, I think last year in the month of January, and I still have so much left. I think this pack was, I can't imagine any more than $5, okay? I use this while I'm on camera, I use this throughout the day, I throw this in my bag, and it doesn't add any extra powder, it doesn't really remove my makeup either. It works probably just as good as that blotting product, maybe. It could keep you matter slightly longer, but again, is it worth it for $34? Probably, maybe not. Weigh out the pros and cons for yourself. For me, it is just not a thing. It's not a thing.
And then, not to be that bitch, but this is my perfume Sweet Tooth in the travel size that I do bring everywhere with me, so I smell good. And those are all my favorites.
So I actually do have her perfumes. Again, I've been a fan of Sabrina Carpenter for quite a while now, and I don't buy perfume for myself. Like, I literally just do not, but I wanted these. So the first one that I bought for myself is her Caramel Dreams. It's the Sweet Tooth Caramel Dreams, and I really liked this for the moment. I liked it for the autumn and the fall time. It literally smells like a musky caramel sweet scent. It leans a little more masculine, I would say, so if you don't like that, you might not like this. Even my boyfriend smelled it and he was like, oh, it smells like cologne, so keep that in mind. And then my boyfriend got me this for Christmas, and it's just the original Sweet Tooth. I like this better because it doesn't have that musky scent and it doesn't smell as much like caramel. The one thing I would say is, first of all, packaging, so freaking cute. Feels high quality. These are pretty decently priced perfumes. You can buy them at Walmart. And the one that she has in her bag is the travel size. And that is, let me just check, $21 for the travel size. And I think the full size is like, or like the medium size is like $30, which you might as well get the larger size if you know you're gonna like it. As much as I do like the packaging on these, I do enjoy the smell. I don't think they're offensive. I don't think they smell bad, but they're also not that long lasting and they're not my preferred go-to everyday scent. I don't find them to be like a high quality perfume in comparison to the other luxury perfumes that I actually own, and I'm sad to say that because I do hope one day she comes out with a high-end luxury perfume because I would buy it in a heartbeat, especially if it's like an elevated version of her Sweet Tooth perfumes. I will be there, but I have the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet that my mom got me for my birthday. I also have the YSL, I don't know what this is called, but it's the famous YSL perfume. And I also got this for my mom. So again, didn't pay for these with my own money and probably won't ever. Like, perfume is something I like to ask for as a gift because they're just way too expensive and out of my price range. But these ones are way more high quality in my opinion than the Sabrina Carpenter perfume. Now, I'm not saying these are the same smell by any means. They are completely different smells, but they just last longer on my skin, and I like the chemistry of them on my skin better than the Sabrina Carpenter perfume. But again, if depending on your budget, like this might be better to buy. I was actually willing to pay for these with my own money versus the perfumes because luxury perfumes are insanely priced, like insanely priced. I know that they are probably better quality for so many different reasons, but holy crap, $100 for the tiniest bottle. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like $90 and it's so small. Anyways, glad to see Sabrina Carpenter using her own stuff. With that being said, let's go ahead and total up all of these products that's in her makeup bag. The total cost of Sabrina Carpenter's favorites, if you were to buy it all, is $145, okay? And I don't know about you, I don't think that's terrible. I don't think so. For someone who spends a lot of money on beauty, that's not awful. But again, pricing is subjective. For you, that might be absolutely insane. But if I were to buy all of these products and have spent $145 on it, it wouldn't have been worth it for me because Sabrina has different taste, she has different preferences, she has a different skin tone, and these are not all for me. Moving on, we're gonna chat about her Met Gala look, and just my opinion, not that you asked for it. Since we're talking about her Met Gala look, I will just give my thoughts on her actual dress. I didn't like it at first. Like, I thought it was pretty underwhelming in comparison to so many other looks, but as I see it more and more, I'm like, it's actually kind of gorgeous. It's actually kind of a vibe. And her makeup look was beautiful. Her hair was done beautifully with the dress, and I think everything was pretty cohesive. It wasn't my favorite look, but it was still pretty in its own way. The makeup artist that did her makeup for the Met Gala is Carolina Gonzalez, and she is an incredible makeup artist, y'all. Like, if you look at her portfolio, her work is extensive, and she has done makeup on so many freaking celebrities, and a lot of the makeup that she has done, I'm a huge fan of. I really like her style of makeup. The only thing is that when I was stalking Carolina's makeup Instagram page, I noticed that the majority of her products that she used was Armani Beauty. So I did a little bit more digging and noticed that her Instagram bio says that she is part of the Armani Beauty Collective. I didn't dig deep enough to really understand or know what the Armani Beauty Collective is. I think it's just like a featured artist, creator, person that represents the brand, I'm assuming. I feel like it's more of like a brand ambassador situation. If you know more details on that, please let me know in the comments below. And if it is like an ambassadorship kind of program or something like that, I wonder if that is technically considered like a sponsorship or they're being gifted these products. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like influencers get a lot of hate on being deceptive and not disclosing their ads and everything like that. But we also forget there are other creators on this platform that are not technically known as influencers that might also be deceptive. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not standing up for influencers who are not being transparent and honest. I definitely agree that that is totally wrong and we need to do better. But at the same time, we need to be on the lookout for other places, because it's not just the obvious influencers. They're not disclosing if products are gifted, if they're being paid. There are other people on social media that are doing the same thing. And I'm not saying this makeup artist is being deceptive. I'm not saying they're not disclosing, but there's a chance. There's a chance because they are part of this Armani Beauty Collective. And a lot of the times I see makeup artists using a majority of different products, not just from one brand. And unless they have their own brand like Patrick Ta or Makeup by Mario. So it's very odd to see a makeup artist only using from one brand. Another thing I noticed is that they have Cetaphil and Solo Wave and Velour Beauty in their Instagram caption as brands that they used. They don't always include that in every single photo consistently, so I'm also wondering if maybe Velour Beauty, Solo Wave, and Cetaphil sponsored this Met Gala look in any way, whether it was gifted, paid, or not, and that's where I feel like the transparency isn't there. Going into the actual Met Gala makeup routine, she has, of course, a team behind her, okay? And that is something that I want to stress, because as your average everyday person, one, we're not going to the Met Gala, we're not going on red carpets, and most of us are doing it all on our own. Not saying there's anything wrong with having a team. Honestly, one day I would hope to be able to experience that, like, truthfully, but I can't imagine the cost of having a photographer, a stylist, a nail artist, a hairstylist, a makeup artist, doing your hair, makeup, everything for the Met Gala. And you know, there's a chance that they might not be getting paid. Maybe this is just an opportunity. Who freaking knows? Like, I don't know the celebrity world like that. I'm not like in tuned in that way. Even if, let's say, they weren't paid, I can only imagine what they should have actually been paid to do something like this. So either way, I'm sure it's costly. Like, for me, I do my own hair, nails, and makeup. I literally haven't gone to the hair salon in like 4 years. The last time I went was in 2020 before the panini. Like, literally a month before the panini, I got a haircut, which was incredible timing on my part. And now I've been cutting my hair myself. It's very therapeutic and thrilling, but also a scary experience. Not only that, I've started to do my nails myself. I went to the nail salon maybe last last year one time, and I just didn't feel like it was worth it, especially because I didn't go to like the greatest nail salon. They didn't do a good job on my nails, and it just made me feel some type of way. I am a DIY beauty girly, and most of us are doing this by ourselves, so I cannot afford a whole team behind me. With that being said, a lot of the products, skincare products she uses, actually all of them are Cetaphil, which is not terrible. I actually, whether she's being sponsored, not being sponsored, whatever, at least it's a drugstore brand, it's accessible for us, and I have tried Cetaphil products before, so I'm not completely against, you know, having the base be Cetaphil. A lot of makeup artists tend to use really expensive skincare products like Tatcha. I've also seen the brand, I cannot remember their name, but it's like August something. Too expensive for me to remember, but you might know what I'm talking about, the blue and the orange. I'm happy to see that we're using drugstore here as the base. They use the Gentle Skin Cleanser, which is $12. Daily Oil-Free Hydrating Lotion, $17. Healthy Renew Eye Gel Serum, $29. It's a little pricier, but it is like an eye product. They always tend to jack up those prices. The Healthy Renew Face Serum, again, it's a face serum. They tend to jack up those prices, $29. And the Moisturizing Lotion for the body, which is $12. Continuing on to skincare, this is a huge chunk. It's the Solar Wave 4-in-1 Red Light Therapy Skincare Wand for $169, paired with the Activating Serum for $29. I find it interesting that she used a Cetaphil face serum, and then she also used the Activating Solar Wave Serum. Feels a little excessive for me, but you know, it's the Met Gala, who knows? Moving on to the actual makeup products, because this is what we care about. Everything that's on her face is Armani Beauty. So the concealer is the Luminous Silk Concealer for $42. I have to say, I've tried this before. I've gotten 2 shades of it, and none of it seems to match me. I do like the formula. I can see why people enjoy it. It's very serum-like, thin consistency, hydrating, glowy under the eyes, and it gives you medium coverage at most. However, because I bought 2 shades and could not find one that actually worked on my skin tone, and it's $42 freaking dollars for a concealer, it put a bad taste in my mouth, and also it just was not enough coverage. Like, that concealer is not for you if you have like dark under eyes that you want to cover. If you have a lot of things that you want to cover, it's just not for you. But if you have mature skin, you want light coverage, then I could see it working for you. For $42, it's alright, it's alright. And the Luminous Silk Foundation she used for $69. Oh my gosh. I feel like they raised their prices. I feel like this was cheaper a couple years ago, but I did try the Luminous Silk Foundation from Armani Beauty a few years ago, and again, I liked it, but I could not find a shade that matched me. It feels like their shade range is very much too neutral for me / cool toned, or way too warm toned for me, like orange warm tone, that I don't really like how it matches me. And again, for $69, I never went back. I never bought the full size for that price. I think I bought like the mini, and even then, I never went back to repurchasing it. If you want an alternative that's actually a very similar formula, Maybelline Fit Me for $6 to $8. My opinion, just as good. Then she used the Luminous Silk Cheek Tint, which is $39. This is actually a newer product from Armani Beauty. Makes sense as to why she would use it at the Met Gala. In previous looks from Sabrina Carpenter's like public appearances, she actually used a different Armani Beauty product in the past. This is definitely different from what I've seen. I think when I look at Sabrina's makeup look, it's a lot more of a matte finish in comparison to how she has usually done Sabrina's blush, which is that glowy, soft pink kind of vibe. On top of that, she used the Neo Nude Melting Color Balm. That's also $39. Again, insane pricing. I'm not knocking it though, because I am a person that if I like want something and it's expensive and I have the money, I'm going to buy it. I've heard really good things about the Melting Color Balm, and I've always wanted to try it. It's been on and off my wish list, but I have yet to buy it because the price is just, it's just a lot, okay? It's a lot. She also used the Luminous Glowy Setting Powder for $48. I haven't really heard anything about this setting powder, so if you have a glowy setting powder that you like, probably something that you can skip. I already have the Hourglass powder, and it gives me that glowy vibe. I also love the e.l.f. Halo Glow, gives me the glowy setting vibe, so this is not something that I would personally be interested in. I don't really notice a difference on her skin either. I'm sure it works like every other setting powder. Carolina also used the new Prismaglass lip gloss in the shade Clear for $38. $38 for a clear lip gloss, y'all. $38. Let's just remember this is a clear lip gloss, and unless it's the only lip gloss you're ever going to buy, $38 is absolutely crazy for clear. Underneath the gloss is the lip power in the shade 103 for $45. The Ice to Kill mascara is $35. Then they use the eye tint in number 31 for $38. And I have to say, oh my gosh, I'm kind of ashamed to share this with you, but I do have that. I have the Armani eye tint, and I have the shade 22, which is just like a neutral, almost cool tone brown liquid eyeshadow. I love this stuff, y'all. I know it's $38, and no, it is not worth $38, but do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? Yes. I really enjoy this. I just think it's so easy to use. It's one of the best liquid eyeshadows I've tried so far. It doesn't have too much pigment, so it's so easy to build up on the eyes. It's a very almost like moussey texture that blends into like a powdery texture. You can layer it. It's just such a no-brainer kind of product to use. And if you're the type of person who likes a one and done eye product, you don't want to think twice about it, this is it. Especially if you have mature eyes, I feel like this would work really well on you. So yeah, for $38, she's pricey. I don't think this is for everybody. And then for eyeliner, they use the Smooth Silk Eye Pencil for $36. I'm not paying $36 for an eyeliner, so moving on. For eyelashes, they used the Classic Extensions from Velour. These are $30. I actually can vouch for this too. I really love the Velour Beauty Classic Extensions. So much so, I bought multiple packs at one point, but they're pricey. Like $30 freaking for like a disposable product is really pricey. And for that reason, I stopped buying those lash extensions. I instead have replaced it with the Ardell press-ons, which these are, I think, about $12 for a pack. They are also a disposable product. I mainly wear these when I'm on video, when I want to take photos, things like that. But it's half the price of the Velour extensions. They're not exactly the same. I think the Velour ones are a little bit more like, they literally look like you just got lash extensions versus the Ardell. But I think Ardell does the job. So I'm happy to continue buying those over the Velour. On top of that, they have to use the lash adhesive for $12, the lash applicator for $15, and the lash curler for $15. Personally, I have all of those things. I do not need to buy them from Velour. I have to say though, I don't think I had any commentary on her makeup look. I absolutely love her makeup look. I think it's very fresh face, works well with her skin tone. Like, I love that it's not her typical like pinky blush, especially in comparison to the blue on her dress. She has like the soft tinted kind of grayish white eyeshadow look. I don't think it makes her blue eyes stand out, but it blends in very well with her skin. And then you have like a peachy blush, which I love with the color blue. Like, orange and blue are complementary colors of each other, so they look really good together. And I think that's such a good choice for her makeup artist. I just love everything about this makeup look. It's just really well done. Okay, let's go ahead and calculate the total of the Met Gala makeup look from Sabrina Carpenter. This isn't even counting her team themselves and how much they cost hourly or however much they charge. Before I tell you how much the total is, comment down below your guess on how much Sabrina's Met Gala makeup look was. All right, drum roll please. The cost of Sabrina Carpenter's Met Gala makeup look, not including her entire team, is $798. I'm not gonna lie, this is lower than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was at least gonna be in the thousands. Kind of shocking. Again, if you were to, want to buy everything from this Met Gala look, you would be spending $798. And this is not including the value of her dress, not including the value of the work of her hairstylist, photographer, everything like that. It's absolutely insane how much it costs to look that good. Hopefully this video was a reminder that you do not need to buy the same exact products as a celebrity or influencer to look like them and feel like them and be like them, because at the end of the day, they have a whole entire team behind them. I really hope that this video does take off because I want to continue doing more content like this. If you want to show me that this is worth posting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to my channel, and leave a comment because we need to push this out into the algorithm. If you think the content is valuable. If not, then okay, fine, I understand. You don't have to watch this, you don't have to engage. But if you think it's valuable, then don't be a silent watcher and comment down below. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!